The BS Report is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects.
First of all,
This is the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
it might be cool, I don't know. And if it's not, I don't
The
care.
BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons works for ESPN. He's also named the Sports Guy, and he writes a comical sports column. He must be a popular dude.
The BS Report.
It's got a real dirty sound, like a rusty steak knife cutting through a well-aged steak.
Now,
Here's Bill Simmons.
Welcome to the BS Report, Kevin Wilds. We always get asked when you're going to be on again, and the problem is you tape, you produce Sports Nation, you produce Numbers Never Lie for ESPN.
And you don't like me.
And I like you. But those shows end at like 5 o'clock, and the ESPN radio crew in Bristol, they're out at 5.
That's true.
4:59, 30 seconds. They're
No, they're
packing
good
up.
people.
No,
They're
they
good
are
people.
good
They'll
people.
stay.
It's just that it's tough to. I'm on West Coast, you're on East Coast,
Okay,
so now you're here.
We'll make it happen. I'm in LA now. I'm very excited. And I've got a deep, gravelly radio voice.
And if you've ever missed the half-baked ideas thing, Wilds is the master of half-baked ideas. Wilds has pieces of ideas. They're not fully formulated.
Mm-hmm.
They could potentially grow into something even better than what they seem to be on paper. They're not quite there, and yet there's something there. And that's the magic of the half-baked ideas. It's not a fully formed idea.
It's not it's really impossible to criticize them. Like, that's not a very good idea. I'm like, I know, it's only half an idea.
What do you think of, we've done a few of these podcasts, what do you think got the biggest response of all the half-baked
The
ideas?
biggest response, the Cheers remaking Cheers in Chicago, people like that.
That was, let's run that back for a second.
Okay, sure.
Because I get
That's
emails
old.
about that from time to
Oldies.
time. Last night on ABC, Tuesday night, they ran this show called Work It,
Yes, I read the Grantland article today.
which was the most critically reviled show, I think,
Mm-hmm.
in the last few years. I don't remember, maybe Inside Schwartz was the last one that got this much vitriol. It was about cross-dressers. The general theme was that women were taking over the workplace and losing guys' jobs. And
Yeah.
these guys had to dress like women to kind of get their identity back and their jobs back, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Offensive in every respect. I watched the first 10 minutes of it. It was so bad I actually enjoyed it. I felt like it was an elaborate practical joke
Maybe
being
it's like
played
a
in
big
America.
Andy Kaufman bit.
Yeah.
Like it's a stance against sitcoms.
There's an accused pinball machine joke in the first like 2 minutes. The guy's going for a prostate exam and he goes, and the wife goes, oh, it's going to be like reenacting the accused pinball machine or something like that. And it's like, whoa, that's terrible.
Quality
and this is like
television.
at 8:30 at ABC. But anyway,
So that's why you should remake Cheers.
no, the point is, there's bad ideas on television. We see them all the time. Shows get canceled immediately.
Mm-hmm.
They remade Charlie's Angels. They remade Knight Rider.
Yes.
They remade Fantasy Island.
Yes.
They remade
Hawaii Five-0.
Hawaii Five-0. That one worked. But I would argue that the reason that worked is because the star of Hawaii Five-0 was not Jack Lord. It was Hawaii.
Okay.
The star of Cheers was the bar and the camaraderie of the people.
You don't think Ted Danson was the star of
It
Cheers?
was. I love Ted Danson. I'm saying it's replicable.
Yes. The tricky part
You
of,
could do it
of
again.
replicating that is that it's pretty much a one-set show.
Yes.
So I don't know if there is another one-set show that's really successful now. Like, it's basically a play, right?
Yeah, but like Friends had the coffee house they were always in.
But they never left. That would be like never going to the apartment. You're just being the daily. What's it called? The daily grind. Shoot, I wish I remember.
And the Friends?
Yeah.
You know, Friends is on at all hours. I've actually watched a couple episodes
Not bad.
recently.
It's not a bad show.
It's now a little bit underrated. I'm not saying it's
Not
good,
bad. It's
but
not
it's
a bad
not.
show.
My memory of it was that it was just like, oh my God, how did we watch that? If you watch the ones from the first 3 years, like, pretty good.
It is good.
Good. The
Six
actors are
people,
good.
They've all got their own personality.
They're
Like,
really good actors.
Lisa Kudrow, what are you up to?
Oh, she's doing Smelly Cat again.
Oh, gee.
But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty interesting show to go back and rewatch because Aniston and Courtney Cox, to a lesser degree, kind of became bigger stars in the show. And then Matthew Perry, for the first couple years, was really likable. Like, you would have bet, if you were just buying stock of celebrities, you would have said...
You would buy Matthew
96,
Perry.
97, you would have bought a lot of Matthew Perry. You would have said, like, that guy's going to be one of the best comic actors of his generation. Never quite worked out. But even, like, the Kudrow and Matt LeBlanc, like, they were good for the number 5 and 6 on that show. They were still good.
But don't you think they could come back like Modern Family, like
Friends?
Yeah, no, don't you think that like Matt LeBlanc is going to show up in 15 years? Like, is it Ed O'Neill from Modern Family?
He could. All of those people could do something
like,
again.
wow, that guy's amazing. Where's he been for 20 years?
Yeah.
Like, well, no, he was doing Married with
It
Children.
kind of happened. He was on a Showtime show where that happened.
Matt LeBlanc was?
Yeah, he was on some obscure Showtime show where he played himself.
I watch. Yeah, that never works.
But the point is, yeah, acting, casting, all that stuff is. And that was a big reason why Cheers worked.
Cheers Chicago could work if anybody wants to take the idea, or we just need to buy the scripts for it. Oh, there's your cell phone bill.
Wow, that's horrible.
Sorry.
Probably my fault for not reminding you
that
to
won't
keep
happen
your cell
again.
phone on. Yeah, the thing with Cheers was the casting. Ted Danson they nailed. Shelley Long was great for the first few years.
Mm-hmm.
The coach was awesome. Mm-hmm. Norm and Cliff were great. You're not going to do better as character actors. Carla was never my favorite, but was good for that
fantastic.
role. Frasier comes in. He's great. They did a nice job of mixing it up, which is something a lot of shows didn't do. The turnover was big because I've written this before. TV shows are like a sports team. You want to have turnover. You want to add we have a new sixth band this year. It's good. It's good to have new blood.
And it's not a baby. Isn't that the killer
Baby's
of the
back.
sitcom?
No, you want Frasier to come in.
Yeah.
Fastballs.
Frasier's on a new season.
Frasier. Now the show's smarter all of a sudden.
Not all of a sudden. They're like, hey, they got a new kid.
So Cheers Chicago worked for a couple of reasons. One, it takes you out of Boston. Everybody's tired of Boston as a TV movie. I love Boston, but it's been so many Boston movies. How many Boston movies have been in the last 10 years? 20?
Yeah, probably.
There's cable movies out there. The other day there was a movie with Ethan Hawke and Mark Ruffalo. They're in South Boston. What is it? Another Boston movie?
Good tax advantages to shooting in Boston.
Apparently. So Chicago, I feel like, is almost underrated as a locale.
I picked Chicago just to get Vince Vaughn. That's the only reason.
That's why we had Chicago initially, right?
Yes.
And Vince Vaughn now is almost at the point I think he does this.
Why? Because you think he's not? You think his star has fallen?
Name the last Vince Vaughn movie that you thought was a big movie.
I don't know, but he's so good.
What was the last Vince Vaughn movie you remember? Top of your head.
I don't.
Last time you enjoyed a Vince Vaughn movie?
I don't know. I want to say Wedding Crashers. That can't be.
Yeah, that was 7 years ago.
That can't be the answer. He's so great. I'll buy all. If anyone out there is selling Vince Vaughn stock, Kevin Wildes will buy it.
Hollywood Reporter reports tomorrow. Cheers Chicago. It's coming back. They're remaking Cheers in Chicago, and Vince Vaughn is going to play Sam Malone, the former Chicago Cubs reliever.
I think people would be really excited about that.
I think people are like, "Whoa, I'm in." What? Thursday 8:00? Yes.
Done. And it's Thursday at 8, and then you just start building around that. That's a big hit. And
Vince Vaughn's like, I can't do it unless I get $30 million a year. Okay, Vince.
Whatever he needs. Those things.
Do you want that right away, or do you want it in installments?
Do you want just cash that we can drop off in a Brinks truck?
So then the other key, I think, for Cheers Chicago, you make a relative no name the lead female. Sometimes these shows make a mistake.
You know who I like for that?
Who?
She's a little young though.
Who? Dakota Fanning?
No, Lake Bell.
Oh, Lake Bell coming off her nude scene that shocked the world in 2011.
From How to Make It in America. I thought she was so good.
She's really good in that show.
I think she's just going to be amazing.
Pivotal nude scene for her.
Well, there was some nudity.
But I mean, it's strategic, almost like out of the Halle Berry Swordfish playbook of nudity that was career advancement. You're like, oh, Lake Bell, really? Okay, totally in on her now.
She's going to be a star.
She's going to be a star. As it turns out, they didn't make it in America because they got canceled.
Yeah, but that was a good show. That show was.
It wasn't a good show.
I like that show.
It was a likable show that was not good.
I watched every episode.
It was a lousy show.
No, I liked it. I was in on it. I would buy crisp jeans.
It was a very likable show.
Jeans out there, I will buy them. I will buy them from the wardrobe manager and wear them. I wear crisp shirts. I wear crisp by Yossi. I like that show.
Jacoby, come in here for a second. Can you quickly do your How to Make an American impression?
Okay. One of my favorite things about How to Make it in America was the use of antiquated hip-hop slang.
Yeah.
It was always a good one. Yo, B, how you doing today, Kevin B? You see the new Chris jeans? They fat.
Okay, well, you live in Los Angeles. That's actually how people talk in the Lower East Side now.
Is that true?
No.
I do feel like
but that's all right. That's all media is about 6 months behind how people really...
I do feel like the people, especially like the Brooklyn people, and like Michael Weinreb wrote a nice piece about the show for Grantland, saying he knew it was a lousy show, but he looked forward to every episode.
So then why is it a lousy show?
Because there can be shows where you watch them and you go, as you're watching them, and I think Entourage was the all-time example of this. you watched it and you could see the pieces, but they couldn't put it together. It was the jigsaw puzzle, and you could see all the jigsaw puzzle pieces. They didn't put it together, but it was still fun to watch it and go, oh, man, if they just put that piece there.
But if you're watching it, that's your vote. You voted for that show.
But but I'll watch anything, though.
Okay, see, I won't watch anything.
I watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I guess, you know why I have to take offense to it? Because if I watch it, like, that was lousy. Like, I like lousy stuff. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's why people get mad when, hey, what's your favorite movie? Oh, movie X. Movie X stinks. That means you stink. You're insulting me. This is why I only come on once a year.
This is why, like, Corolla and I love... that wasn't fair. This is why Corolla and I love Fast and Furious 5. We know it's lousy.
Okay, that's fair.
We enjoy it.
That's true.
And I think How to Make It America is your Fast and Furious. I hate to break it to you, but
all right, fine.
In 2 years, it was like, so we finally made the crisp jeans. Hey, we're rolling out the line.
The stakes were right.
Ooh, cliffhanger. Oh, did we get their sweatshirts done? I guess we did.
I'm going to write a spec script for season 3 of How to Make It in America. It'll be great.
What they should do is they should do season 3 with child actors online. It's like a web series. So we should just keep the series going in some different form, or with little people.
They did that for The Wire. Have you ever seen The Wire?
No.
They did The Wire. I don't know if it's on the DVD. I've seen it on YouTube. So that it's like Wire prequels, and it's all the characters when they were little. So here's Prop Joe in high school, and they're just 3 minutes, but you could probably spin it off and then eventually spin it off again into a cartoon series.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It was great. I think there's 3 of them, and they're just kids.
Listen, let's come out of this knowing that somebody just greenlit Cheer Chicago.
Okay,
Some
good.
NBC executive.
That feels good.
I remembered one other thing that you did that got a huge response. Lowering the rims in the WNBA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people really like that one.
That's.
And it was also one of those, like, it's the WNBA is the opposite of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Mm-hmm. The WNBA is it's broke, let's fix it.
It's just that one makes the most sense because they are already accounting for some of the physical differences between men and women. With a smaller ball, a closer 3-point shot, just lower the rim, and then you've got a real game.
Lower it to 9.5.
Yeah, just lower it to wherever. I think it would actually be really fun to see what level it should be lowered to. And you would set the bar
some experimental games?
Yes, you'd set the bar at, I want to see someone do a 360 dunk. And we'll keep lowering it until someone can do a 360 dunk. Or just pick the dunk that you want someone to do, and then they have to do that, and then that's where the rim should be.
See, I'm going to have to recant all my WNBA jokes soon because my daughter loves basketball.
The WNBA?
She likes playing basketball, likes the WNBA.
I mean, WNBA games are fun to go to.
There's, the secret of WNBA is that they all go and they play in Russia for crazy amounts of money.
Is women's basketball
big
in Russia?
It's Fight Club.
It's not Fight Club.
It's Fight Club. It is.
It's Fight Club in Russia?
It's Fight Club. You don't talk about it. Did you know that?
No,
Did you know that they go over there and they make like $1 million for 2 months or some crazy number? Like Maya Moore, Taurasi, they all go over there, but they're not allowed to talk about it when they get back.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see those games.
Coming up next on E60, what happens in Russia? That's what it is. They'll go over there. Nobody knows. Connor and I talked about this 15 minutes the other day. We were trying to decide whether this was a documentary or not.
To go to...
what happens in this Russian professional basketball league?
Why did they get paid so much?
Because the Russians like watching women play basketball.
Okay.
I don't judge them. They also like hockey leagues where people fight all the time.
I don't judge that either.
You see those clips?
No.
You ever go to the Puck Daddy blog?
Yes.
Puck Daddy will run clips sometimes from these Russian professional hockey brawls. And these are like brawls, like Hanson brother brawls, where like guy comes off the bench with a stick and just hits somebody in the back of the head and knocks them out.
Yeah, I don't like...
You don't like those kind of brawls?
I rarely... I don't... So working on Sports Nation, we see a lot of... We try to put every great clip on the show.
Right.
If it's a great clip, if it makes you say, oh, we try to get it on the show somehow. And we have enough.
By the way, I'm glad you brought that up because congratulations on last Tuesday. You ran your 1,000th clip of someone getting hit in the balls. Congratulations for that. Who was that, Anthony Tolliver?
Listen, we give people what they want.
They want ball hits.
We always try to put the great clips on, but there are points where is that a fun-loving hockey brawl, or is that a crime? There's
Right.
a lot of stuff like that. You see, like, whoa, the streaker ran on the field, and the goalie started kicking him
in the head.
What just happened? Is that just weird videos, especially when we start mining the internet for all sorts of videos.
You know, the
sports, but that's just a crime committed on the sports field.
Tosh and the Tosh ripoff show on MTV. Ridiculously ripped off.
I like that show too.
I like it too, but it's really, they could have tried a tiny bit harder.
It's America's Funniest Home Videos. Right? It's America's Funniest Home Videos.
Tosh. And then when I tweeted that, then the Talk Soup fans were like, well, Tosh ripped off Talk Soup.
And
Tosh didn't rip off. Tosh is different than those shows.
It's a guy standing in front of a green screen.
But he goes, he shoots
a video,
bits.
coming out, making a joke, tossing to another video.
Tosh took whatever line there was, and he extended it like Usain Bolt.
Jumped, the Bob Beeman on.
He ran like a 9-100 with the.
I don't think it matters
line.
Who's first. It's a different thing. But
so you're saying it's more America's Funniest Home Videos with sidekicks.
For what, Tosh?
Well, anyway, those shows, they don't have really any lines. They'll show any clip. They don't care. As long as the person didn't die.
Yeah.
They're not like, hey, watch this clip of a house catching on fire and 5 people died. Like, they won't do that.
No, of course not.
But they'll show somebody, like, trying to jump into a pool, and he misses. And then the guy's just lying there like you don't know if he's dead or not. No, they don't care.
No, I'm getting soft in my old age. I only like to show happy things.
That is true. You got married, and now I
got married. I'm just more uptight. No, I'm not more uptight. I'm just more positivity. I like to see happy things. It's really because my wife will watch any sports event, no matter what. It could be the most exciting thing in the world. It could be Patriots Packers Super Bowl, and we could all be there ready for the Patriots to win, and the Packers kicker could be up there, and she would say something like, "Oh, I hope he makes it, because if he misses it, he's going to feel so bad." She's just she always sees the entire picture. So an awesome dunk, like that Blake Griffin dunk that you guys did here.
Yeah.
She would feel bad
for the guy who got dunked on.
For the guy that got dunked on, because she doesn't view it as we're just looking at Blake, but she looks at the entire picture. It's really interesting. She does it all the time. So now I've started to do that. And then whenever a kicker's up there, I start to feel nervous and I feel bad.
It sounds like your wife should be doing those commercials that Sally Struthers used to do to get people to send food to Africa. All right, let's get to the half-baked ideas. America has waited long enough. I don't want you to zoom through these. Take your time.
All right.
We'll pick 3. We'll settle on the 3 finalists after.
Okay. The first idea is called a closerback.
Closerback, okay.
Closerback. It's a type of dinosaur. No. Closerback is what a relief pitcher is to baseball. This is to football.
Yeah.
So now it would kill all arguments of, well, this guy, you can't trust him in the fourth quarter. Can you trust Tony Romo? Can you trust whatever other subpar quarterback? Doesn't matter, because in the fourth quarter, you take out your starting quarterback, you put in your closerback. You find a guy who is clutch. Let's agree that clutch exists. You find a guy who's clutch. So maybe when Tom Brady is done playing with the Patriots, he's 45 years old. Like, thank you, Tom. You did great. Like, well, you know what? I'll probably transition into being a closerback. I'll come in for the last 5 minutes, give my services to any team that wants me. I'll play till I'm 50 because I'm calm. I run a 2-minute drill that nobody can beat. A great decision making.
So maybe you're also the offensive coordinator too. You get 2 jobs. Yeah.
You could be.
Yeah.
But you're basically Mariano Rivera. So why does it work in baseball, and why wouldn't anyone try it in any other sport?
Why wouldn't you call it the fourth quarterback?
Fourth quarterback, it's confusing.
Too long?
The depth chart's confusing. And you're the fourth quarterback, but he actually might be the fourth quarterback. So that might work. I'll buy that. Fourth quarterback.
Crunchback?
Crunchback, I'll buy. Closerback, I'll buy.
Closerback's good.
I call them relief QBs.
So you basically, because people have made this argument about Tebow, that they should just play him in the fourth quarter. You're saying, forget about Tebow. This should just be a position.
Yeah, why not?
Like right now, Brett Favre could be somebody's closerback.
Why? Yes, he's a clutch guy.
Now, I guess my only reservation would be, what about the guy who played for the first 3 quarters?
I don't know. How about starting pitchers? Do you think they're
But
mad?
they come out because they're tired.
They didn't in 1915.
True. So you're saying
At
maybe
some
the
point you
quarterbacks get tired. That might be part of why they do badly.
I assume they get tired. They're tired after the game. They weren't
Take a
tired.
little bit of a beating.
I assume that before relief pitchers were around, you want to go the whole game. And complete games were the thing to do. You start the game, you want to finish the game. Say, no, we've looked at it. Your performance actually starts to go down a little bit. We want to bring in this guy who's not only fresh, this is just one part of the equation. He also has the mental makeup to thrive in pressure situations.
You bring up something that I've always thought about. If you have mediocre, like you have Tavares Jackson.
Okay.
He's all right. He's not great.
He's fine.
Solid.
Mm-hmm.
You're not winning the Super Bowl with Tavares, probably. But Tavares does very specific things. He runs around. He creates plays with his legs. If you also had like your traditional Kevin Cobb type guy,
mm-hmm.
and then just teams have kind of tried this, but nobody's had the balls to just say, we're doing this the whole season. We're never not doing it. We're going to do it.
2 quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Just have them always out there.
No, not always out there.
Okay.
I'm saying like maybe Tavares plays 2 plays, then he comes out. Maybe he plays a series, Cobb plays the next series, whatever. But if you're a defense, now you have to prepare for both guys. Anything you do to make the other team prepare for stuff, it seems like it's a bonus. If you have mediocre quarterbacks anyway, what do you care?
I'm in. I'll buy that.
Like Arizona had John Skelton and Kevin Cobb were basically the same guy. But let's say they had John Skelton and Tavares.
Mm-hmm.
You really could have gotten strategic with that.
Yeah, I'll buy that 100%.
I know teams have tried it. I wonder if it's ever worked.
Well, let's say it works in baseball, right? Baseball has pitchers for different switch pitcher. We got our starter, we got our middle reliever, we've got our closer, and then we've got, I don't even know what they're calling the eighth inning guy.
I call it the cooler.
The cooler, and then the closer.
Yeah.
Okay. And then one of the ESPN researchers came in and gave us a nice, awesome NBA analytics presentation.
They're very good at that now.
It was awesome. And he was talking about clutch and whether Dallas had a clutch lineup in the finals. Like, oh, this is our clutch lineup. This is the clutch squad. A clutch team, bringing the clutch team in. So in football, is there, we've got the hands team. These guys are all really good. But is there a makeup of a football player that lends himself to clutch situations? Put them in. That's the idea. That's the first idea.
All right, let's go to 2.
All right, second idea. It's not about sports. It's called, Jacoby and I just named this one Dolphins to Go. So Dolphins to Go is a traveling dolphins exhibit with a giant tank that goes from town to town like a carnival that you can then jump in for a small fee, swim with dolphins, kiss a dolphin on the lips, and jump out. Just like riding an elephant. But he comes to your town. Mobile Dolphins to Go.
You're just playing off the fact that people love dolphins.
I was on Google Plus, believe it or not, and someone posted a picture of their son kissing a dolphin, and it was supposed to make me happy, and it just made me really jealous because I want to kiss a dolphin. I want to swim with a dolphin. I haven't done either. I've ridden several elephants in my childhood.
Yeah.
You get over the elephant, ready for it, hump very quickly.
Yeah.
But I want to swim with dolphins, and I don't want to have to go to Jamaica to do it. I want the dolphins to come to me. I'm an American. Dolphins, you come on land with a giant tank, roll up a 18-wheeler, open it up. Hey, good news, everybody. Swim with Dolphins time is in Bristol, Connecticut. Print money. Swim with dolphins. Dolphins to go.
Dolphins to go, I like.
Okay,
let's go to 3.
Third story. I'm going to call this one Christmas 365.
Okay.
So Christmas 365. I just got married and I had a registry, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
So every day we would come home and we would get a new.
Somebody would grab it out the registry.
Yeah, I get a new piece of, I get a new pan. So Christmas 365 came about because after I got married, I had to start buying Christmas presents for people. Buying Christmas presents for men, my dad, my uncles, very difficult. So why don't you just go around? Christmas 365 is probably an app you have on your phone. maybe some sort of laser thing. That anytime you see something, anytime in the year, scan it, and that goes on to Bill's wish list on Christmas365.com.
Oh.
So, because I'm always finding things that I want in March. But when it comes around to December 1st, Kevin, what do you want? Nothing. Oddly, I don't want anything now.
I don't know.
But just go to Christmas 365. I've been tagging things the whole year.
Yeah.
Pick anything you want. I want it. In fact, I probably forgot about it. So it's going to seem really thoughtful. Mobile app, probably have some sort of Facebook hookup. Christmas 365. Did you buy that one?
I like that one. Except you'd have to go in and clear it out because you'd be like, I forgot I scanned that Chris Paul Hornets jersey back in February. Crap.
It would have. There would be some kinks. There would be some weird. There would be some weird things that you might get. But overall, Christmas 365 would work. Christmas 365.
I like it. I kind of feel like they have that already. Don't they have Amazon wish lists?
Yes, but
can't I just have a wish list and you go on it?
But I don't think anything is
geared toward Christmas.
Well, I want geared towards Christmas, and I would like everything to be consolidated. So they do that in some wedding registries that they'll take from a large umbrella, and you can try to go to just one registry. But every registry is from just Amazon or just Bloomingdale's or just Crate and Barrel or whatever it is. I want everything in one. So anything I see. Anything. Even maybe I could upload a picture. I want that Boston Patriots poster. I'm going to take a picture of it, upload it to Christmas 365. Hopefully someone finds it for me.
Would you spin it off to Hanukkah 365 or no?
Of course. Yes, there's multiple.
And Kwanzaa 365?
Birthday 365. Anytime you're getting a present.
Yeah.
Christmas 365 is there.
All right. That's my favorite so far. What's fourth?
Oh, fourth one. This is more of a conversation. You need a reason for root beer. Do you want to talk about, are you a root beer fan?
Yes.
Okay, good. Me too. So Connor and I have had this long debate, and we want to get in the root beer business.
Oh.
The problem with root beer is it doesn't have a home.
So you're saying root beer is the tequila of this decade?
In my world, it would be.
Yeah.
That every beverage has a reason to drink it. But you can never say with root beer, I just did blank, I need a root beer. So I just went to the beach, I'm going to drink a Corona. Or I just mowed the lawn, I want a lemonade.
I need some energy, I want a Coke or a Mountain Dew.
Yes, I just jumped, I went skiing and I did an awesome trick, I want a Mountain Dew. Root beer's got nothing like that.
You know what another one that's like that? Jacoby turned me on to these chocolate coconut drinks.
Chocolate coconut drinks?
Jacoby, what are those called?
Vito waters?
Zico
waters? That's just
Zico chocolate coconut waters. Those are delicious.
But it's a hangover drink, isn't it?
I love them. Every time I drink them, I feel like you
feel healthier.
I feel like I took some sort of pill that's going to be banned in like 6 months.
It's all coconut water is for people that want to be healthy normally. So you go to yoga, you have coconut water, or people feel like they need to get ahead because they lost too many nutrients the night before eating pizza and drinking beers, so they'll have coconut water.
But like Tom Hanks in Castaway, shouldn't he have been happier? Like he was just drinking coconut water.
Well, it didn't have the flavoring.
It didn't have the flavoring. He shouldn't have tried to kill himself. He had all that coconut water. He should have been in great shape.
I don't know if coconut water is that delicious where you would, if your only friend was a volleyball, that you would still
I didn't think he had it that bad on the island. He had a volleyball to talk to, and he had unlimited supply of coconut water. And it was beautiful. People go to vacation in islands like that. What are you complaining about, Tom Hanks?
He was fishing. People like to fish.
Fishing, and he had a fish. He lost weight. He looked great.
He probably would he have been better off if the ball if he inflated the ball and invented games to play?
With the ball?
Yeah. Because I think boredom ends up getting you. You can't read anything. He didn't seem like he had a lot of games to play.
Yeah. He could have made friends with a log or a stick or a rock.
Yes. Make friends with anything useless. Don't make friends with the most fun thing you've got.
True. He should, because he did so well with the other things, like the skate he used.
Yes.
As like he was like cutting stuff with the skate.
Exactly, but the ball, it was deflated, but I'm sure you would have figured out some way to inflate the ball. Then you've got something fun. You can juggle. You could be good at soccer. You could play kickball with your other friend, your log friend.
He could have like made some fake basketball court and become
jump shots. And
I derailed you with the root beer thing. So you're saying this root beer doesn't have its thing?
Root beer doesn't have its thing. I was thinking about making it whenever you mow the lawn, have a root beer. I thought about making a marketing campaign just for whenever you operate a jackhammer, get a root beer.
I'm going to interrupt you quickly.
Okay.
I disagree. I think root beer has a thing.
When?
The root beer float.
Okay, that's a noun. It's not.
You need root beer for root beer float. I think of root beer. I think like that is one of the key components of my single favorite dessert, the root beer float.
I will never go anywhere and disparage a root beer float or its importance.
There's very few things that I hear, and like if you're at a place and the waiter seems trustworthy, it's like, you've got to get the cobbler.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I'm getting the cobbler. You've got to get the bread pudding. Done. I'm in. You have to get our root beer float. You're right. I do. I have to get it. Like, if somebody's selling the root beer float hard,
I would argue that the root beer float is either a 9 or a 10. The best root beer float you've ever had is a 10, and the worst is a 9.
No, because
you had bad root beer floats?
First of all, the vanilla ice cream is really important for root beer floats. It needs to be more of like a creamier type of vanilla ice cream, and not like the new wave kind of pseudo-healthy ice cream.
You need like Breyers.
It needs to be creamy. It needs to melt in the float. Mm-hmm. It cannot be done with diet. It has to be real root beer.
Who is...
No, some people will do the diet, and I don't agree with those people. You have to pour the root beer first, and then put the ice cream in after. And you have to do it carefully so the root beer doesn't fizz.
But how many root beer floats do you consume a year?
2.
Why? It's insane. If you were the root beer, if you were the A in A&W, right? Your name is Adam, and you have a marketing meeting, and you're looking at your team right now, and you said, "Listen up, guys. We've got the best drink in the country. Why isn't anyone drinking it? What is the deal? Why? Drew, it's the most delicious drink in the entire country, if not the world, and no one drinks them."
Right.
It's not hard.
Well, isn't it part of the problem that nobody knows what the best root beer provider is? Like with Coke, Coke makes Coke. Coke initially wasn't the only cola. There was a lot of different colas. Coke won the cola war.
So you think it's a problem?
7-Up's won that lemon lime war. I think it defeated Sprite. Or Sprite won the lemon lime war. I was going to say. Sprite. What did 7-Up do?
7-Up.
It's like its own weird flavor.
7-Up and Slice are hanging out.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Sprite won the lemon lime war. Mm-hmm. Dr. Pepper won that kind of cherryish cola type thing.
They're in their own. They're in their own lane. They do a good job, Dr. Pepper.
Red Bull won the energy drink war for the most part. It has a lot of competitors.
Sure. Sunkist won the orange war.
Sunkist, it was like by
Welch's
default.
won the grape war. Sure.
Nobody even challenged Sunkist.
So you think that there's too many root beers?
I don't know what
there's not one dominant root beer. You have A&W, you've got Barks, you've got...
I would argue there's no dominant ginger ale.
Ginger ale doesn't matter because I think ginger ale is more of a mixer's...
Oh, don't tell my dad that.
Or it's
my dad has 7 to 8 ginger ales a day.
Because he has a 6 upset stomach?
He always drinks ginger ale. And he drinks Schweppes. He doesn't like Canada Dry.
Come on.
No, he's like all big about Schweppes.
I will challenge your father.
My wife has to go and get Schweppes. He's a big Schweppes guy.
So your father, if Canada Dry shows up, he can tell the difference between Canada Dry.
He's bummed out the entire time.
That he's enjoying a delicious ginger ale.
It's not the same to him. And I'll tell you another thing. He's way down on the gourmet ginger ale drinks, and I am too.
I've had those.
The ones that are like, ginger. Oh yeah, it's real ginger, and it's like, yeah, this is gross. It tastes I feel like I'm choking on ginger.
No, pieces of ginger floating around.
Yeah. No, can I just get a Schweppes?
Like it.
Yeah.
I'm a Canada Dry guy.
So anyway, root beer, I don't even... A&W, I guess.
So A&W, let's just assume A&W is the dominant root beer.
Yeah.
It just needs a reason to drink, and it doesn't have one right now.
All right, so what's the reason?
I don't know.
I was going to say there's no half-baked idea.
I don't know. The idea was...
I finished it for you, the root beer float.
The root beer float is not a reason to drink. I think it's the jackhammer industry. I would just try to go blue... Are you operating a gigantic piece of equipment, have a root beer? And then people would want to be manly and drink root beer.
I'm going to then... You obviously need a closer for this side. I'm going to close it for you.
Okay.
It's like a LeBron Wade situation.
right.
What really needs to happen is a specific root beer has to combine with a specific ice cream.
Oh, interesting.
So like Breyers and A&W get together and like we're combining, and we've built the best possible vanilla ice cream for a root beer float. We've scientifically figured this out. And then A&W is like, and we have root beer, and we did a couple different tinkering things.
Sure.
And you just have to trust us. When you put these two together, there will never be a better root beer float.
I'll buy that. And they're sold close to each other.
And they run ads together. They share the cost.
Like Coronas and Limes.
Why don't sponsors share costs? There's a half-baked idea for you. Why is it a mutually exclusive thing? Like, why can't A&W and Breyers together have root beer float ads?
Well, I think it's the Dwayne Wade LeBron thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you go to the Breyers people, they view that as ice cream being the dominant. If it came down to a last second shot, ice cream wants the ball. But the A&W people are, I'm not giving you the ball.
I think they should.
This is a root beer. Root beer wants the ball.
I think they should combine and do an advertising campaign, but first have a welcome party for it.
just not one scoop.
How many sponsored titles are you gonna win? Not one, not two. But yeah, why not? And why wouldn't what other stuff goes together? Like Bacardi and Coke.
So
why wouldn't Bacardi and Coke make ads?
They might. Do they? No,
I don't know.
They should, but you're in the right spot where more people should do ads together.
What are those beers that people drink when they have the shot of them on the top, the shot of liquor?
Tecates.
Like Corona with
Corona and Limes, but Tecate has a shot of sometimes tequila.
All right, let's keep going. I like where you went with the root beer, though. You're right. I just disagree. I think root beer is owned by the float.
Okay, we'll agree.
Like if I said to you, "Hey, I made you a Coca-Cola float," you'd be like, "Ugh."
I like
why?
Coke floats. I like
Coke floats.
So I like Coke floats. They had them at McDonald's when we were kids. All right, this idea is I'm pitching my father as to be a television and radio executive.
Okay.
The idea being this: my father only likes hits.
Oh.
He only likes hits, and music. TV, he just has an ear for it.
He's a front runner, or is he like he just knows ahead of time?
Just knows what's good. He only watches great stuff.
Yeah.
He'll watch American Pickers. What is American Pickers doing? It's doing like a 5. He loves those shows. And the reason I think this is because people who get into the music industry, let's say, they love music. So they start heading up the ranks, and then eventually they're music executives. But they love music so much. And music is just great. They just love all music. They can't tell everything sounds good. My father doesn't love all music. He only loves the hits. He has a sense of, like, that's a hit. I like that. I don't like the other stuff. So the less you know, the more you know.
So this isn't a half-baked idea. You're just trying to get your dad a job.
He's retired. He's
it's
retired.
A consulting job.
He's retired and he wants to be the head of.
What you just described, though, is something that happens, I think, in sports with scouts.
Sure.
Like people in basketball, they go to so many basketball games, and they actually know what to look for, but they see so many things, and they see Kevin Wildes. He's a freshman at Cal Poly State.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'11". He's got long arms. And they just start, and he can do. And they're not even looking at it in a sense of, is that guy good or not? Like on the court right now, is he the best guy? Is he helping his team win? They just can't snap out of that, and I think that's
was it
happens
that
with music.
You wrote that article with Gladwell a long time ago. That Gladwell, if he was the GM,
Gladwell had some sort of.
If he was the GM of the Knicks, he would only draft, because he didn't know basketball. He would only draft Duke players and UConn players because he didn't know anything. And then he wrote the lineup of what he would have had versus who the Knicks actually drafted, and it was far better because since he knew less, he actually knew more. So that's my dad. Our reason for root beer, we did St. Patrick's Day Eve, we got Christmas Eve, we got New Year's Eve. I really want to exploit.
We don't have more Eves.
More Eves.
Oh,
so,
I like where you're going here.
So the two I'm pitching are either St. Patrick's Day Eve or 4th of July Eve, and you just get another day of celebration.
So, yeah.
I don't know where it goes. Again, they're half-baked ideas. I don't know what you do, what happens, but I know Christmas Eve is its own thing. You wake up like, today's Christmas Eve. Today's New Year's Eve.
And it's more fun than the actual day, usually. There's more into it's spills in the next day.
Christmas, no. Or certainly Thanksgiving Eve has become a mini holiday when people end up going home.
But that's a whole different thing. That's really become a holiday for anyone between 18 and 25 to see their old high school friends.
So just
try to hook up with girls that they couldn't get 5 years before, see who got fatter, see who got balder.
So can you make it an official holiday? Or I don't know what the step is. I don't even know what I'm looking for. It's just a half-baked idea. I just want an Eve. I want something Eve. Oh, it's July 4th Eve. This is when we drink root beers.
I have the answer for you.
Okay.
So you don't need St. Patrick's Day Eve or July 4th Eve because those days are fun. The days that aren't fun are Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day weekend. The only thing that's fun about those weekends is that it's an extra day.
Okay.
But the Sunday night before that Monday is always a fun night because you don't have to wake up the next day and there's
Sunday night
games
is the
on.
most fun.
So if you sold that as Memorial Day Eve and Labor Day Eve, all of a sudden that's like a real day now. Like, what are you doing for Memorial Day Eve? Oh, I don't know. What are we doing? We should do something.
We have to do something. What do we have? What do we do?
Memorial Eve, I think you
Memorial
call it.
Day Eve, you always go and buy.
I mean, you could even talk me into Columbus Day Eve. What? Because that's always on Monday, right?
I don't know. Oh, you know it would work.
What?
Money-wise, if you wanted to get into it. Valentine's Day Eve.
Why?
Because you'd have to buy something for your wife.
So that's another half-baked idea. I'm totally in the camp of just eliminating Valentine's Day.
No, I want
Valentine's
more of
Day.
them. I want more of them.
I hate it.
Why? Buy your wife
It's a terrible
something.
day. I've written about this before. All it does is it makes people feel terrible if they don't have somebody. You just feel like the worst person on the earth. You feel like a complete failure of a human being.
That's true. I don't like
if you
that
have
part.
somebody, there's huge pressure on you to come through, and it really depends on the stage of relationship you're in. And if it's like you've dated somebody for 2 months, then it's like, well, what do I do? It's only been 2 months. Should I go this far? I don't want to go too far. That'll come on too strong. Then if it's like if you've been together 10 months, like, oh, there's a lot of pressure. Then you could have the thing like my wife's birthday is near Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's tough.
I got Christmas, her birthday, and Valentine's Day, and
she loves the presidents too.
and President's Day Eve. For those 4 things, and within 6 weeks, and then I'm like, well, why don't I just combine things in? Oh, you can't combine presents.
No.
God forbid.
No.
But yeah,
Valentine's Day is a great day.
You like it because you're a sap.
Yeah, so just buy You buy flowers.
But you're the reason that we have Valentine's Day. People like Kevin Wildes. Thoughtful, good boyfriends and husbands make Valentine's Day and make it go and do its thing.
And Valentine's Day Eve, it would be an opportunity for us to sell something. Everyone, you have to buy daisies on Valentine's Day Eve. Get in the daisy business. Bingo.
Did we talked about this before? Because we either need more holidays or less holidays, but the number we have right now isn't that good.
You want more?
Could potentially talk me into like 2 more.
Well, I told you I wanted to have. Oh, and you don't like the Eves. You just want a regular day.
I would argue Martin Luther King Day was a big hit.
People love it.
It's a great day. I get excited for MLK weekend. We remember the guy, great man.
Do you want to date?
You could talk me into 2 more holidays dedicated to great people.
Do you want it to be great people, or when do you need one?
I'm gonna turn into a sap myself here. What's the best female holiday right now? There's no female that has a holiday.
Oh, that's interesting. That you would want a Pocahontas Day.
Pocahontas Day.
Well, no,
really
I don't know. I don't know.
Some
sort of.
Talk me in a couple more holidays. I'm okay with more holidays.
I could take one off the board.
You'd pull one off?
You probably have to. It's like a club at this point. 1 in, 1 out, guys.
What is Labor Day?
I don't know.
Labor Day seems like something that started in the 20s or 30s. Don't, if I'm being insensitive and don't realize it, don't email me and get mad at me.
That's
but
the thing.
It just seems to me like
you don't know it. I can't believe you don't.
I think
know the
it
history
was
of Labor Day.
I think they just felt they were like, yeah, everybody's working too hard. We're gonna call this day Labor Day. We need a redo on that name. If Labor Day is what I think it means, and I might be wrong, and I'm going to get 1,000 emails, you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Don't call me an idiot, because I honestly don't know. I think it just meant they just, like FDR, somebody decided, like, yeah, we're going to get some days off.
I don't know it.
Jacoby, we Google this.
It would only take us 30 seconds. We're total jerks. I have an idea of what it is, but I don't want to go on record saying what I think it is.
I wouldn't mind, like, kids could have a day potentially too.
Every day is a kid's day. Christmas is a kid's day. Halloween is their day.
Because Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are the two kids' days. But other than that, then you have birthdays, and that's it.
And birthdays.
You could talk me into one more kids' day.
So you want one kid? You want one just wild kids' day?
You could talk me into one.
I could take a day in May. I could take a day in.
Here's one you could talk me into.
Go.
Cinco de Mayo just becomes a day.
Sold in the room. Done.
All right.
Yeah,
so we're in. So, all right.
Done.
So Cinco de Mayo now becomes a holiday.
A real day.
It should at least be on par with St. Patrick's Day, which isn't a holiday.
It's getting there. I think people are starting to get fired up more about Cinco de Mayo.
Here's another thing. One of the top 7 or 8 reasons to live in Massachusetts is Patriots Day, which is a state holiday. So maybe you can make a case that every state gets to pick its own holiday. That could be any Monday during the course of the year that's not already a holiday, and we call it whatever. Like in California, you could call it Hollywood Day. And it's a day like you could have premieres and be like, oh, it's Hollywood Day. We all go to the movies today and celebrate.
I like that.
Florida could be spring training, like the first day of spring training. It could be spring training day.
It's very state oriented, very political.
Yeah, I like the states should have their own holidays.
Yeah. I like that.
All right, we'll come back to this. I like the Eve thing though.
Okay,
hold on.
Labor Day.
Labor Day update from Jacoby.
Thank you, Jacoby.
Research indicates that in 1882, Matthew McGuire, a machinist, first proposed the holiday while serving as the secretary of the CLU of New York.
1882. Some dude named Matthew
CLU
McGuire.
Is Civil Liberties Union?
Yeah. So there were real reasons at the time because people were overworked.
Mm-hmm.
I could get rid of it. I could call it something else.
You don't want to get rid of anything.
Would you call it Angelina Jolie Day?
No, I'm not going to call it Angelina Jolie Day.
You don't think she deserves a holiday?
No. I mean,
Tom Cruise Day?
She's wonderful. Well, Tom Cruise Day I'll call it. I'll call it Brad Pitt Day.
How about Sports Day? Just a day that everybody tries to get healthy again. Or go on a diet day. National Fitness Day.
What do we need the country to do?
Cinco de Mayo is what we need.
We could do the moon landing.
Moon landing day. I need to think about this more. Let's go to the next one.
A reason for order Hawaiian pizza and get a free lei. That's stupid. That's just a one sentence. If you order Hawaiian pizza, I should get a lei with it. That's all. Moving on. So this was an idea.
Can we go back to that for 1 second?
Sure.
Why did the Hawaiians get a pizza?
I don't think it's their pizza per se. I think it's someone invented that pizza and just called it Hawaiian.
Jacoby, we can hear you. But why isn't there like a Mexican pizza? That would be like a almost tastes like a taco on a pizza.
But there is Mexican pizza. If you
but I see Hawaiian on a menu, and I don't see like I'm gonna get the Mexican pizza.
It's more that you should be asking why other states don't have pizzas. A Floridian pizza with oranges on it,
like the Chicago deep dish pizza.
Chicago's got city, but Hawaii is the only state with a pizza.
The deep dish pizza is just. You could argue it should be banned by the president for health reasons. It's so bad for you.
Four Loko.
It's the worst thing you can put in your body. Basically,
I don't get down with deep dish pizza. I'm a strictly East Coast pizza guy. All right, you want another one?
Yeah.
All right. So this goes back to what I was saying about me being a wimp, and we show a lot of knockouts on the show. A lot of just boxing knockouts, UFC knockouts, any MMA knockouts. But some of this stuff is really brutal, and as again I was already established that I'm becoming a real sap and really emotional and sympathetic towards the losing parties in this.
Yeah.
That I don't take as much pleasure as I used to in watching a man's foot kick another man in the head, and I used to love it. Now I'm having some issues with it. See him go down, concussions, all of that. So the idea would be, and we may have talked about this before, have some sort of helmet that's small. Have some sort of helmet that when you break it, it's got like bubbles of liquid in it. And you could, if you puncture that means you win. And maybe it's blood colored. So you would enter the ring
Yeah.
with this helmet, and if I hit it hard enough, it will puncture, and fake blood will come out of it, and that means you lost. If there's fake blood, it's almost like a die pack in a robbery.
So this is like out of 2069.
These fights?
This idea.
Well, you think it's that far away?
Yeah.
Why?
Because we won't have to do this until all the concussion stuff officially comes in. And then people go, oh, yeah, we shouldn't have boxing anymore. Oh, and probably not hockey either. And, yeah, football's not going to be touch. But people are still going to need their violent fix.
The other thing, you could wear one of those tight Under Armour suits, skin-tight suit, and you've got blood packets all over it. And when I hit you, I don't hit you, you're padded, but that would break. And then so now you're bleeding. If I break 3 of them, you lose. That's the way it's safe, but I'm still enjoying the visceral caveman experience of watching blood fly out of your body.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, that one's a wrap.
Quarter-baked idea. Let's revisit that in 2065.
I'll be here.
When I'm still hosting
with
the
your diet, you'll be here.
I'll
buddy.
still be alive. I'll be like, why didn't Kevin eat better? He's dead now.
All right, this one's barely an idea. It's something we want to do for the show. I just wanted to talk about it.
Okay.
We want to do some sort of video. I don't want to say viral video. We just want to do some sort of awesome video.
Okay.
Of what Dude Perfect did for long distance shots. Have you seen those videos? Yep. We want to do for the dunk. So that either means a very high dunk, or a very far dunk, or a very something dunk. And there's a clip from a Japanese television show, and the rim is over here, and there's a guy on a trampoline about maybe 25 feet away, and he's bouncing, and he's ready to go, and he's going to do the longest jump.
Trampoline dunk.
Yes, but it's far.
Yeah.
So, and he jumps, and he goes 20 feet and dunks. So we want to do something like that.
I have the idea.
Good. This is what I want. This is not even a quarter baked. I just want the idea.
The one thing we haven't seen with dunks yet is people dunking over something where they could get really hurt if they don't clear it.
Okay, keep going.
Alligators. They got to jump over and pull alligators.
All right.
Electric current. Like barbed wire and electric current. Like, you don't clear it. You're just... Like, that's what... You need danger. I was thinking about this during your New Year's Eve show that you produced.
I did not produce it, but...
Or whatever. You were there.
I was there.
I don't know what you were doing.
Sure.
They jumped on this ramp and they landed.
Yeah.
Everybody was watching. I T-voted. I want to see if they made it.
It's good. It was good.
I don't feel like we have enough of those.
You like those?
I do. I like seeing if somebody's going to make it. And that hasn't really transferred to dunks yet.
So, exactly. Well, Red Bull's really good at putting on those events, and they say it's about pushing the limits of the sport. But usually they're able to do it because that's that arena of extreme sports. To take that into what they call stick and ball sports, I think would be really interesting. And not necessarily a slam ball way, but in some other...
Hockey's the sport.
To do what?
To just kind of... That was the one Vince McMahon should have done. That was the biggest mistake he ever made.
He should have done XFL for hockey.
He should have done XHL. Should have done XHL. Would still be on. It would be a huge hit.
Where do you get the guys?
You just do it with minor leagues. You buy a minor league and turn the XHL.
Yeah, go ahead. What would you do? I'm interested in this.
You do the same thing. You just make sure people are fighting. You get points for fighting during the game. Like, you can win. Goals are like 2 points. Winning a fight's 1 point. Just go all out. You couldn't do it anymore because now everybody's screaming about hockey fighting. But in 2000, it would have worked.
Maybe 2 point. Maybe 2
combination of trying to score in hockey, but then also trying to win fights. With judges and everything. I mean, that's the way it should have gone.
That you want fighting it. You take fights out. You're going to have to take fights out.
You're going to have to take fights out.
Fights are going to have to come out.
Fights are weird to watch now that you know all the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're in a weird time for sports right now.
How so? Because
it's just weird. Like, where everyone's in denial. Like in football, it took extra 2 years before they started acknowledging that if you get a concussion, you shouldn't play the next week.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't really start happening until the middle of last season.
Mm-hmm.
And then in boxing, the whole point is to concuss the other guy.
Well, that's why they should go no gloves, theoretically.
One more.
I've got my other one. You don't even think you play.
What do you mean?
This is really basic. It's you don't play Words with Friends. It's the best thing.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
So I just want Words with Friends. It's a small idea. I just want Words with Friends to keep score, an all-time score, like Red Sox Yankees. Like the all-time battle between Simmons and Wilds. Simmons 12 wins, Wilds 5.
Oh,
so I need to be able
like
to
a
catch
career
people.
bank.
I need it. So I'm beating up on this one guy, and then I see him. I say, I've really been taking it to you in Words with Friends. He goes, no, you haven't. What are you talking about? Like, I've been beating you more. What? And we don't have any way to judge it. I just need some sort of final tally. Now you've beaten Bill 12 times. That's more of a suggestion. But that one will take off.
Now we're done?
That's it. I got 10. That's 10 ideas.
So the best ones were Christmas 365.
Yep, you like that one.
The Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one that morphed into sponsors coming together and pitching a combo product like LeBron and Wade.
What was that, root beer?
Well, that would be an example.
You don't like Traveling Dolphin Show?
Briars and... Dolphins to go. I worry about the health issues.
What are you talking about?
How do you keep the tank clean?
I don't know. Who cares? You hire someone.
Have you seen some of the 18-wheelers that drive around?
You hire someone to do this stuff. It's a multi-million-dollar industry, Dolphins to go. You're robbing children of memories. You are. I don't want to get emotional about it, but that's what you're doing.
Kevin Wildes, Numbers Never Lie, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, ESPN 2.
Mm-hmm.
Sports Nation, 5 o'clock p.m. ESPN 2.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, that's about it.
Married guy?
And I'm married. I'm very happy. And I'm going to come on before 2013, maybe.
Your house that you were renting was knocked out by the hurricane in September.
Yeah.
And you moved to another place.
Yes.
And my advice to you was that you got that one out of the way. Because when is that going to happen again?
Hopefully never.
It's like in World According to Garp. The plane hits the house and he bought the house because he knew at that point there would never be another plane that hit that house because there's no way that would happen again. So I don't think that'll ever happen to you.
Well, thanks. That's a nice way to...
I want to tell you that in the podcast.
I appreciate
Happy
that.
New Year, buddy.
Thank you.
So I get to sign off. Whoa!
Thank you for downloading the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Too much fun.
Check out more podcasts at the iTunes Music Store or at Pod Center at ESPNradio.com.
Peace out.